Hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest 8-second gaming, and in today's video we are going to be talking about and breaking down 15 things that you probably did not know in Apex Legends. But speaking about breaking down, I know that Valentine's Day is coming up, and if you guys are like me, you're preparing for your mental breakdown because you're gonna be alone again. We're Apex players, it happens, but instead, why not spend your Valentine's Day with me and GameLeap's other top level coaches over on the GameLeap website. Over there, we have created hundreds of site exclusive guides already, covering so many different topics in Apex to make you the best player you can possibly be. We've already helped a bunch of people hit new peak ranks, and you could be the next one. So click the link in the description, use code LOVEAPEX to get a massive discount and start to improve today. But okay, now that you've returned from signing up, let's hop back into things. And number one is that Vantage breaks aim assist. As most controller players know, and even if you didn't know, this is kind of a bonus one, you do not get aim assist on anything greater than a 4x scope. So if you're using something like a 6x or even a 4-8 on the sniper rifles, you do not get any aim assist values. You have to use a 2-4 in order to get it. But actually Vantage breaks that and breaks the game because she receives aim assist on her ultimate sniper. I'm not quite sure why it happens or how it happens, but I was actually playing with a controller player the other day and he mentioned it and it works. So if you like to snipe and you're a controller player, maybe check out Vantage because her ultimate can help you out with that. Number two, every single ammo type in Apex can slow you. Now when Apex first came out, this was not the case. It was only heavy bullets that could do this. And then a couple seasons went by and Respawn decided to change it to every single ammo type, but there are still some players that have no idea that this change went through, or even they might have watched an old video and they thought the same thing, but I'm just here to let you guys know it's every ammo type now, not just heavy. Number three, while we're speaking about bullets, let's talk about projectiles because every single weapon in Apex, except for the charge rifle, is a projectile based weapon. This is somewhat of an explanation as to why you sometimes die behind a door after you close it. Because Apex weapons are projectiles, as soon as you close the door, if that projectile has already made it through the door, it's still going to hit you, and then you die and you think that you died after you closing a door and you get really mad at the game and you break your controller and then you gotta make your mom buy you a new one. It's just a whole fiasco. Don't get angry, it's just a projectile. Number four, when you're the jump master, don't drop too early or too late. The best distance to be leaving the dropship is between 400 and 500 meters. This way you can kind of fly straight at it, maybe do a little bit of dolphin diving, but it's not 100% necessary, and you'll be getting there extremely quickly, be able to land and loot up before some other teams that dropped way late. I can't tell you how many times I've had a jump master who dropped way too early and we landed after everybody and we were just completely screwed because they had all the guns. Number five though, let's keep the topic about looting going a little bit because each different POI in Apex has different tiers of loot. Now when you first enter a POI, you will see the name of that POI pop up on your screen, and underneath that in different colored letters you will see the tier of loot that is in that location. Some people might not know what that meant and they just kind of ignored it and tunnel visioned out of it, but the higher tier the loot, the higher probability of you getting better items from it are. If you're in a high tier loot area, you're probably going to be getting better loot than somebody that's in a mid tier loot area. So you can use this information to plan out rotations better, or even what spots you want to stop in on the way or where you want to land in ranked. This will help you get better gear and set you up for more success throughout the game. Number six, most guns in Apex do have a pay to win skin. These are definitely the best option for you to use your crafting materials on so that you have an easier time if you're not finding sites. The best example of this is kind of like the Kill Switch R99 skin. You can use crafting materials to buy that. It has a much better iron sight, and then you won't have to use any sights if you don't want to. There are full lists available of pay to win iron sights out there. Just run through it, familiarize yourself, and buy them when you can. Number seven, this is for all you Octane mains out there, but Octane Stim breaks crowd control effects. There are a few different ways that CC can happen in Apex, one being an arc star, and those slowing effects can actually get you killed a lot of the time because it gives enemy teams just a chance to run up on you and kill you without you being able to respawn. But if you use Octane Stim after the effect takes hold, it will break it. It won't happen if you're using the stim before the effect hits you. So if you're using Octane, try to time it so that after the arc star goes off, that's when you pop your stim and you'll be able to just run away for free. Maybe. Number 8, this goes out to my teammates in pubs, but you you can actually split off of the jump master as you guys are flying towards a location. This makes it so you're not landing on the same building or in the same spot, and you can actually spread some loot out between your team so you're not fighting for the same weapon and the same loot. If you land in the same spot as your teammate, you are hoping that you're going to get enough loot between the two of you to be able to fight. And if there's another team there and they landed spread apart, they're probably going to have more loot than you. They're probably going to have better loot, and you're lessening your chance of winning that fight off drop. So split off, spread the loot around your team. Don't be clingy to the jump master. Number 9, you can see what items and ammo your teammates are using when you look in your inventory. This is extremely helpful if you're trying to decide what weapons to run, because you can see what ammo types your team are using and make a decision based off that. Because if you're running triple light ammo and you see there's a flatline on the ground and you don't mind running the flatline, pick that up, because then you're not having a massive demand on light ammo. Because if you kill a team and everybody's used a bunch of light ammo and only one person on the enemy team had light ammo, you guys are going to be on the struggle bus, and it's going to hurt your chances of winning that game. Sometimes it's better to just pick up a new weapon, ping some attachments for your teammate if you drop them, be the nice guy, be the one to make the sacrifice play. Number 10, gold knockdown shields can be very annoying to play against, especially if you are trying to kill somebody before they get the res off. If you happen to come around the corner before the res does end up finishing, you can actually tell if somebody's using a gold knockdown shield, because there are special animations that play around the person. They kind of electrify a little bit, and you can actually tell the color of the shield because of the color of the electricity. Now, this doesn't really affect the gold knockdown shield at all, because they always get up with the same amount of health and armor, but if they do happen to get away and you didn't know their shield before, this will also help with that. Number 11, if you landed a POI with crafting and you don't find better armor than the white one you landed with, you can craft your armor up in the replicator. It costs 50 crafting materials to do it, and then it gives you 150 damage towards your next evo. And if you don't have enough crafting materials but your teammate does, you can actually drop your armor to them and they can put it inside the replicator for you. This is a very quick and easy way to level up evo armors, especially if your team is really struggling to find better loot. It is definitely worth the extra couple seconds that it takes to craft your armor up just a couple times. You will be a lot more help in fights with blue or even potentially purple armor, because it actually doesn't take that much to get to purple, but it's wasted if you just leave it and run around with white. Number 12, speaking about the crafter, a lot of people don't know that if you open up your map, you can actually see the items that are in the replicator at that given time. There's a daily rotation, a weekly rotation, and then a permanent rotation as well. So if you didn't know the daily rotation happened and you want to know what attachments are in there, just hit your map and see. You don't have to run over to a replicator, interact with it, and then sit in the menu while you read everything, because that makes you a lot more vulnerable. Don't be free KP. Now, if you guys are liking these tips and you really want to get better at Apex, please do consider checking out the GameLeap website. Honestly, it's the best place to grow as a player. Number 13, your inventory will always be automatically arranging itself in the same order when you pick items up. Like, it will always have ammo on the top left and grenades on the bottom right, and then it will fit the heals that you pick up in between those two. And it does arrange heals from biggest to smallest as well. Now, it's not super necessary to memorize each and every single individual spot, but it is good to know the general area of them in case your teammates need you to drop something while you're in the middle of a fight. If you open up your inventory and automatically know the general location of where something's gonna be, you're gonna be a lot faster for your teammate, and in some stressful fights, those precious seconds that you spent looking in your inventory can cost you the game. Taking a little bit of time every game just to memorize it helps a lot. Number 14, you can actually cancel that stupid falling animation that happens that kind of stuns you after you fall from a decent height. Now, I will warn you guys, this is a little tricky. You're gonna have to play with the timing, you're gonna have to work on it a little bit, but once you get it down, it's pretty consistent. You need to melee a piece of terrain before you hit the ground. This piece of terrain needs to change your momentum so you start to slide in a different direction. It just changes the momentum so you don't get the falling animation. This piece of terrain can be anything. It could be a rock, it could be a pole, it could be a tree, it could be a car. It just needs to be a solid object that you can melee off of, and then it will work if you actually timed it properly. So whenever you jump off height, just play around with it because it could save your life. And number 15, every single weapon in Apex has a headshot range. What this means is that if you are not within that headshot range, you will not get the damage even if you hit somebody in the head. It doesn't give you the multiplier. Everybody has their favorite guns or go-to loadout in Apex, and if you do have one of those, you should definitely hop into the firing range and play around with the different ranges for those weapons, because you'll know if you're outside that range if it's worth it to aim for center body shots, or even if it is worth it to try and go for some headshots to help kill that person faster. But let me know if I missed anything in the comments down below, and if you guys want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest Apex Legends tips, tricks, and news, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys all for watching. Once again, I'm 8 Second Gaming, and I will see you guys in the next one.